Right, hello everyone, welcome into this YouTube video. My name is Jay, otherwise known as Orscott, or if you know me from before the rebrand, I was Orchard EU. I've just changed this handle because it's a nice short, concise 6-letter handle, which is good for Twitch, for emotes and stuff. And I was also able to get this handle across Twitch, YouTube, Instagram and X as well. So now known as Orscott, but you can call me Jay. And today's video is going to be very similar to this video, the only other visible video on my channel that you can see here. Now, I made that video around the first week of 2025, showing off my gaming setup and streaming setup, with the goal of starting to make content and stuff. But anyone who knows me from my old videos or when I used to stream or stuff, and if you don't, I'll clue you in now, I suffer with like agoraphobia, anxiety, stuff like that. That means for around 10, 11 years I've been stuck in the house, not going anywhere, and that had led to really bad weight gain, just general sort of bad health issues and stuff. And so I think what was happening was I would go into OBS and I would look for any little issue I could find with audio or video or content or anything at all to refrain from the daunting aspect of hitting go live or hitting record and making content. And then it started to dawn on me that that is what was going on with me, and that is what the real issue was when there was no real problems to find anymore, and I still couldn't bring myself to hit that button. So around September 1st of 2025, so around 6.5 months ago now, I decided to try and do what I could to fix that rather than looking for issues within my setup. And I started on a nice little meal plan, and I started trying to get out walks with the dog, and doing little bits of exercise in the house with like an exercise bike and a folding weight bench and stuff. And I'm pleased to say that from my starting weight of 147 kilos on September 1st, I am down to 109 kilos, which is 325 pounds down to around 240. So around 80 pounds or 40, just under 40 kilos of weight lost. Now that will be a video on itself, that's why I've got this camera and stuff that I'm using now. I've been filming that whole journey, which will be a video of its own, but that will be a long time in the making because I'm nowhere near my final goal. My final goal is 85 kilos or 185 pounds. So it's still a long way to go for my weight loss video, but I think I've got enough out of the way that I feel confident enough to sit down in front of a face cam, record, make videos, maybe stream, stuff like that. And I've also got some new hobbies. I'm into trading card collecting now. I've been playing a different variety of video games. I just feel like I've got enough to stretch across making content and stuff now. So today's video is going to be very similar to that one from 2025. We'll be finalising my setup, showing you new additions that have been added since that video, cleaning my whole room, cleaning my whole setup, getting myself ready to be able to just throw myself into making content. And that's pretty much the plan for this video. And at the end of it, we'll give you a nice little setup tour, show you everything. And I thought that was a good idea for a video to ease me back into editing and being on camera and stuff, without having to kind of dream up actual content stuff. So today's to-do list is as follows. So we need to tear down my setup and clear all of the shelves around the room. Then we will run around and dust and wash all of those surfaces. Then we will dust everything and put it back on those surfaces, and we will also be including a new mic arm for the setup. Then we will vacuum the floor, change the bed, and last but not least, the all-important setup tour. So let's get to it. Alright everyone, that is the cleaning part of the day done. I still need to change my bed, but the new Downy cover that I got needed softener, so it's currently in the tumble dryer now, so that'll be ready by the time I get out of the shower. Setup is pretty much done, although my new mic arm, I've managed to beat the DPD driver, so I thought I would be finished well after my new mic arm arrived, but no, I am done long before the DPD guy has arrived. I'm going to go and get myself cleaned now, get a shower, since all the dirty work's done, and then when I get out of the shower, the bedding should be ready. I'll strip the bed, make the bed. As I say, I'm in the 1 hour time slot for the DPD delivery. Finish the setup, and then I will give you the setup tour, and the video will be done. So I am going to go and get a shower. I'll see you in a little bit. Right, what's good everyone? I'm back, freshly showered, but before I jumped in the shower, the tumble dryer finished, so I made my bed before we jumped in the shower. Dog's just testing out the new blanket. And then as I had finished doing that and went to jump in the shower, the buzzer went, and it was the DPD guy with my new mic arm. So I very quickly slotted it into the existing clamp, and as you can see now it will hide nicely down into here because this one's got a lot more bend to it. So the problem I had before was that my old one sat like this at rest. Like when it was out of use, it sat like this. And obviously I couldn't see past it to my TV or see my door if somebody was coming in or whatever. So now I can tuck it way down, oh shit, way down into this gap and see over the mic arm and see my TV and stuff. So yeah, much better than the old one. And that is the end of our jobs. We've installed our new mic arm, changed our bed, cleaned our room, dusted all my shelves and stuff. Everything's looking nice, fresh and clean. We're pretty much done. Now, the last thing on the to-do list is my little tour to show you all my little tech things, how I'm going to be recording content, and one other thing I needed to show you. So I'm going to go get dressed, take the dog a little walk, get my dinner, and we can record that bit after then. So I'll see you guys in a couple of hours and we'll finish up this video. But as for now, everything else that we needed to get done is done. Room smells lovely, absolutely fresh, clean, everything wiped, dusted. Big W. See you in a bit. Right. Here we are, back at the setup. It's time to give you a tour of my gaming and streaming and content creation setup for 2026. So I think we'll start from the ground up. Obviously, on the floor right below us here, you will see I have my Elgato Stream Deck pedals. It's essentially just a Stream Deck for your feet. I've got mute Discord, I've got mic mute, and I've got pause and play for music. So if you're playing controller games or anything and you need to do it without coming off to touch a Stream Deck or a keyboard shortcut, really helps. Let's talk about the PCs. This PC is my main gaming computer. As you can see, it's attached to my desk so that it doesn't have to be worried about sit to stand cable length, because it rises up and goes down with the desk, which is a game changer. We'll talk about the desk in a minute. This case, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice. I'll move my phone around and see if we can get it to do the effect. But basically this is a pearlescent paint job on this case. You can kind of see it there on the top left corner of the front panel. It's a colour shifting case. Basically what happened is this computer used to be in that black 4000D frame, and I loved the 4000D frame so much that when they brought out this limited edition, one of 1337, I had to grab it. And then I case swapped my old gaming computer that was on a big, tall, really cumbersome 4000T from Corsair. I case swapped that into there, so they sit nicely matching each other, although the gaming one, kinda, as a gaming PC should, has the much fancier colour scheme. So yeah, really love this case, really love the frame lineup, really easy to build in. And then the specs of my gaming PC are 9800 X3D CPU, 5090 from Gigabyte, the Aorus Master Elite 5090, an absolute monster of a GPU. Hasn't melted yet, so still going well. And 1200 watt power supply, 64 gigs RAM, really nice. And then in this, what used to be my main gaming PC and is now going to be my editing rig, is a 13900K and a 1490 with 64 gigs of RAM also. So it will actually probably be better for editing than my main rig. Even though it has the 4090 with 8 gigs less VRAM, the 13900K is definitely going to be a better CPU for content creation, because the 9800 XTD really is a gaming first CPU. Now, speaking of the desk earlier, obviously the PC is attached to it by like a little hook thing, so it can lift up with the desk, so you don't need to worry about cable length. The desk, I think we had the last time we made this video. It's the Secretlab Magnus. It's an absolute beast, mainly because of the lack of cable mesh, because the desk plugs into the wall and it delivers power into the cable management tray at the back through the leg, and you plug your power bar in and then you hide it all away in this little tray, and whenever you want to plug something in, you just lift that tray up. It runs the full length of the desk and you are good to go, as you can see there. So you just lift this up, go in there, plug stuff in, and there's no cable mess coming off the desk. An absolute game changer when it comes to cable management. And obviously as well, for your sit to stand capability, by keeping the PC attached to the leg, so you can just lift this up, bring it down, and not worry a single bit about cables. Also under here we have my Nintendo Switch 2, which is magnetically attached to the leg and then cable managed up to the monitors through that said tray, which really keeps it nice and neatly hidden away. Don't have to worry about that. In the tray I have a Elgato capture card. I will obviously, when GTA 6 releases, have to put a PlayStation on this leg to play GTA 6 because it's not coming out on PC. So I've got an Elgato capture card set up in this tray, and then if I want to play console games on my PC, it's as easy as opening Elgato Studio and I can play it with very low latency on my PC screens with my PC audio, all at the desk without having to worry about that. Now the monitors. The monitor on the left is the MSI 272URX, which is a DisplayPort 2.1, I believe, 80 gigabit per second DisplayPort. So this can do 4K, 240Hz OLED HDR without display stream compression. But getting a DisplayPort cable that was good enough to do that and run all that length was very, very tricky, but we got there in the end. So this is an absolute beast. This is for story games, watching 4K content. And then on the right, we have the matching monitor. As you can see, there are identical models, but this one is 1440p at 360Hz. I had this one first. I loved it for competitive games and stuff, but I did want a 4K monitor. So when this one came out, I had to get the matching pair, and they're both on ARM. So when I want to main this monitor, I literally push this one along and this one comes central. And when I want to play competitive games, because I'm right-handed, so I want this centered so that my right hand's over here for the mouse, I just do the same but shift them this way. So that's my monitor setup. As for content-based stuff, we have the Stream Decks. We have the Stream Deck XL. Stream Deck XL. We have the one with the dials for volume, focus, zooms, things that need dials. And then we have the Wave XLR hooked up to my Shure microphone on the arm that we showed you earlier on today. Now another new addition since the last time we made this video is this. This is the Elgato prompter. Now most people use a prompter strictly for reading scripts for YouTube videos. Now the good thing about this one is it actually is a PC monitor. So you can use this one for chat, you can use this for notifications, you can use it just as a straight up monitor like you're seeing now. Really versatile, and I like the idea of this since my camera angle is always on the right hand side. So if I read chat over here, I'm looking really far away from camera. So being able to have chat up here, make eye contact, speak to chat, things like that are amazing. But then also really good if we want to make a big long scripted YouTube video as well. So massive bit of kit. And then for lighting, we've obviously got the key lights, one each side, and that is pretty much it. Actually, there is one thing I forgot to show. There is this, which is a pretty cool piece of kit. This is an external hard drive, but it's not just a hard drive, it's an enclosure that makes it a hub that hooks up by USB to my secondary PC. So basically I filmed something on this DJI Osmo that we're filming on right now. I dropped the SD card in here, I copied the files to the second PC that's going to be my editing rig, and without me even doing anything, it automatically backs them up to this drive. So as long as you have 8 terabytes of storage in this PC and no more, everything is safely backed up, and you can choose which folders you want to automatically back up and how often you want the backups to run. So all of my weight loss footage, because that's why I needed this, because I started realizing filming myself daily for 6 months I was very quickly running out of storage space on my main PC, so I started dumping it all into my second PC, and then I thought, what would I do if this PC died? So I got that little hub there, and it automatically backs up and stuff. Now, I said that was pretty much it, but I lied, I forgot to show you a pretty cool little setup. So you may have noticed on my main desk over here, an extra Elgato clamp. Now that is not for a mic, that is for my iPhone, because something I kind of brushed over earlier is that I've been getting back into Pokemon in my old age. I actually got back into it like a year and a half ago. I played the games on RetroArch, the emulator. I've got like 200 hours in that. I only installed it like a year and a half ago. Basically I played through Fire Red, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Alpha Sapphire, Black 1, and I got halfway through Black 2, and then played other stuff and got kind of burned out on it. But through that, and because I would always see people who I watch their other content, I would see that they do Pokemon pack openings, guys like Zerka, Randolph, people like that. And so after I got hooked playing the games, I decided, do you know what, let me buy some cards. And so I bought, I think at the time Paradox Rift might have been the newest set. So people who know will know that that was right in the middle of the two big booms, which is what I know now that I didn't know then. 151 was the first big boom recently, other than COVID obviously. But 151 was the first big boom, mid 2023, and then Prismatic Evolutions 2025. I got into it right in the middle, so I was able to buy lots of stuff at retail, and then that was the last time I was ever able to buy lots of stuff at retail. So I've also got this storage space set up now for my Pokemon stuff. As you can see, I've got my binders up here, I've got my sealed stuff down here. This is a very cool package that I received today. But if you want to see what's in that, you'll have to watch my channel to see my first Pokemon related video, which will maybe be the next video. Then I've got some sealed product here, Twilight Journey, the Paradox Rift booster box that I bought, that I would probably never be able to get a hold of nowadays, because you cannot buy booster boxes at retail. Then I've got like EVS-PC, that's an open box, but that was a Terrapagos UPC. Down here I've got the Team Rocket briefcase that was exclusive to the Japanese Pokemon Center, pretty cool. And then I've got like my storage space here for cards that I've opened but I haven't sorted into my bulk box and stuff yet. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, I have one more thing to show you over at the setup that will allow me to film Pokemon related content. So that clamp is for this low profile Elgato mic arm. Now if we just spin you around enough to see that clamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that in here. I can't see, there we go. Now, you will notice it has a phone clamp on it. Now that is obviously going to be for my iPhone. So let me put my iPhone in the clamp. Make sure we're not hitting any buttons. So now we have essentially a top-down cam. And using a lovely little app called DroidCam, we can, let me just pull up OBS. We're going to spin the camera here. So we're going to pull up OBS, and on my iPhone, we are going to open DroidCam. And now you can see we have a perfect top-down camera. Basically set up like this, so we can make Pokemon related content. And now this is what a Pokemon related video setup would look like. We would have our playmat down. We have that little parcel that I teased you with earlier. As I say, if you want to know what's in this, you will have to watch my first Pokemon related video. But yeah, this is what the setup would look like. Really high quality. It does 4K because I paid for the lifetime version of DroidCam at £12, which seems like a steal, especially after Elgato's Epoch Cam was shut down. But yeah, that's what my top-down setup would look like for Pokemon related stuff. And the beauty of this is, when I'm done with it, I literally just lift this arm out and put it away. and we're good. And my desk goes back to being relatively easily livable without multiple arms all in my way. So yeah, really cool setup, I thought. So there we have it. There is my 2026 catch-up setup guide, and just a general kind of bit of a first video back and something to get in the swing of things. Really excited about the little top-down setup. I think how easy it is for me to just switch out to this. We're having this clamp just stay on the desk. It's pretty cool, and I can think of a lot of things, even outside the Pokemon stuff. If I was tinkering, changing parts of my computer, I could film it easy. If I was doing any sort of stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to shoot. Oh, I did also pick up this. So we're filming right now on a DJI Osmo, which is the little handheld vlogger type camera. But I also have this, which is the DJI Nano, which will just allow me to do different angles and things like that with one mic, and it all syncs up nice and stuff. So yeah, I've definitely made the right moves in terms of picking up really good bits that makes making content pretty easy and pain-free, and elevates the level of content that I can make, and I've got no excuses now. And I think, like I said at the very start of this video, I think there was no excuses on camera quality or audio quality. I think I had to really bite the bullet and try and improve myself and my self-consciousness before I could do it. But like I said at the start, nearly 40 kilos in weight down, feeling really good, and the rest of the transformation you will probably see bits and bobs as I go through it, and then you will see the big video at the end when I finally hit my goal of 85 kilos, whenever that happens. Some point, hopefully some point 2026, but could be early 27, but yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bit of a weird one, bit of a vlog, bit of a setup tour, but yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, glad to be back and excited to make some different content. Next video will probably be a Pokemon related one. If you're interested in seeing what is in this little mysterious package that I received today in the post, that will be part of my first Pokemon related video on the channel, so be sure to look out for that. And in terms of what else you might see on this channel, it could be anything. My biggest inspirations are guys like Moist Critical, Ludwig, XQC, just general variety guys. So I could be up to absolutely anything, but the next one will probably be showing you what's in here. So if you enjoy Pokemon stuff, be on the lookout for that. If not, drop a sub, follow my Twitch, follow my X, @OrScott on everything. So I will see you there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.